Hello everyone. Welcome to our new series of videos designed to help you make the most out of your life experiences. CyberBrainer is an online training platform designed to help individuals and teams learn the latest technologies and become certified professionals, producing a comprehensive learning experience. In this tutorial video, we will discuss about Workday SCM. Workday SCM is a cloud-based supply chain management (SCM) system that helps organizations to optimize their supply chain operations. The platform enables users to track, analyze, and manage their supply chain activities, from planning and sourcing to delivery and after-sales services, in real time. Workday SCM is designed to increase visibility and control over the entire supply chain lifecycle, providing users with the tools to make informed decisions and improve operational efficiencies. Watch this entire video series to learn more about how Workday SCM can help you drive efficiency and profitability in your business. The topics covered in this video series are: Spend category, maintain supplier categories, maintain payment terms, supplier invoice, maintain supplier content. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel to know more about such interesting technologies and watch other videos in our CyberBrainer channel. For further details, contact us at sales@cyberbrainer.com. Now let us get into the video.
Okay, so first we'll find out the spend category. So for that, we'll go to this task called maintain spend category. And we did not create a hierarchy for that, so it will be under this maintain spend categories without hierarchy. And we did create one thing called entertainment, right here. So this is what we did. How to let it go. Okay, basic one, it can be used on ad hoc payment, expenses, procurement, supplier invoice, regulation within my purchase order. Fair enough, let's hit cancel. Now we'll just hit cancel. Now let's figure out the purchase item. So for that, we'll just say purchase item. So under entertainment, let's see what we had last time. Shows ticket, yeah. And this is the ID. Okay, yeah. This is show ticket for Ed Sheeran. Okay. Okay, this would be like $100 each. Cost would be in US dollars here. And the usage would be on ordering here. So fair enough. Regulation fulfillment source would be purchase order here. Okay, right now we are seeing very basic examples. We're not using any text applicability here. Okay. So we'll see item status is active. It's tagged to entertainment here. No serial. Fine. Now what we'll do, Jason, here is that I'll create a company for us. Okay, a dummy company. And that company we would use for all the supplier invoice transactions and purchase orders also, and for requisitions also. So let me create that company quickly. Okay. So the task is create company. To create that company, either we can do that or we can find out some other company. Let me see. If I type company here, and I'll say that was the flying car PFC. If I remember this should be working fine. Yeah, we can use this company. Let me see the rules. Okay, enough. Okay, so we'll use this dummy company here, Jason, called Tesla Flying Cars. This we would use for our supply transactions, purchase order, receipts, and everything. Now the company is there which we can use. So I'll just set up one, but we'll use this company because this is already a created one, an existing one that we are using. So okay, let me see a new tab. Hmm. So the task to create a company is this one, create company. Okay. Now what is a reorg? A reorg is nothing but a place to track what happened with the company and when, in simple terms, like when that company was set up, who set up that company, who assigned the roles to that company, when that company was assigned to a company hierarchy, when the cost centers were created and they were tagged to a company hierarchy, and so on. Basically, like organization audit in terms of like setup and when it got moved from one place to another place. Okay, you got the point for reorg. What is a reorg? It's the simplest place to do and search of audit trails of a company setup. Okay, so we'll just use Tesla here. I'll show you actually that. And now you have a question in your mind right now that how to create this reorg, right? We are seeing an existing value. Then no worries, I'll just show you in this page on this page itself. The task to create a reorg is very simple. Just type so now let's say let me just think of a good name here. Reorg, the Olive Garden, the Olive. Now let me make this reorganization date is nothing but the effective date of this reorganization, from which date it will start capturing the details. So I'll just say 01/01/1900. Typically in Workday implementations, and when you set up the companies, like once you go live, definitely if you acquire a new company like this year, next year, you would put that date only. But non typically we put this date as the effective date, that anything happened after this date, we can capture it in the system. So if a company is set up after 01/01/1900, they can be assigned to this reorg for tracking purpose. So soon you will see. Right now, it may look something different to you, that why we are doing this, that, and everything. But slowly and gradually, it will make sense that why we are setting up these things, because these things we would be using in the transactions. So I'll just say the olive here. Now, to set up a company, we have to say create company now. And the reorg would be the olive. Now, once you do that with the task called create company, it will by default bring the availability date of the reorg. Okay. So if I would have put like 5th of December here, it would have shown 5th of December here as by default. But as we have put up 01/01/1900, it's taking the effective date from the this field here. You can change it anytime if you want. Name, let's say the Olive Garden. The code. So typically companies have codes like TH001 or TH or TSB 002, TSB 005, like that. Every company has a specific code defined by the system of the business owners. So for this one, we will say this is OG001. If you want to bring this code in the name, click on this checkbox here, and then you would see first it will show this code and then this name here. Subtype would be a company. So what is the subtype of it? We are creating a company, but what is the subtype of it? It can be a branch, it can be a legal entity, offshore business center, something like this. But for now, we'll just say company. Visibility is everyone. Company currency is USD. Okay. Now, a very important point here, Jason, that once you set up a company currency here, okay, and you do a transaction, any transaction, bit like you create a manual journal or you create any operational transaction. When I say operational transactions, like your customer invoices, your supplier invoices, their payments, refunds, all those things. The moment you hit first transaction or you assign an account posting rules, and we'll talk about that in this coming slides now or coming pages. Once you do that, you won't be able to change the company currency. So it is very important that you put the right currency here. If you put the wrong currency and you do a transaction, then you won't be able to change this currency at all. Then you have to inactivate your company and then recreate a new company with correct details. So this is very important that while setting up the company, you put the right company currency here. I'll hit OK. But remember, we have to use this. Now we'll just say OK here. So as you can see, this code is coming before the name here. And this three dots, as we spoke last time, these are called orange dots or related action, or three dots very commonly spoken in the Workday community. So three dots or related action, as we call it. Then once we do that, we have to go to this page, integration ID, and then we have to add this integration ID here. Now, if you want to search this company, it's very easy. If you type the code here, OG001, it will immediately pop up the company name here. Okay. So as you can see, OG01 only one. So our company is set up. If you click on details here, availability date as 01/0/1900. The company is this. Everyone. Visibility is everyone. Company currency is US dollars. Now we'll add some more details. Without that, we'll not be able to use this company for any transaction. So we'll come here. So there's three dots. Then we'll go to this company link. From the company link, we'll go to this added company accounting details. Okay, so as you can see, you're still able to change this currency because we have not done a transaction for this company. And that's like a long process. We'll just come to that. But before that, we have to do some configurations, pre-configurations, so we can use this company. So the company currency is still available for us to change. Fiscal schedule. Okay. It's nothing just like the financial year. So we have financial year like Jan to December, April to March. So those are the fiscal schedules. In this fiscal schedules, you have months like Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay. Those months, like we typically call them as months outside of Workday. But in Workday, we call those months as periods, like Jan period, Feb period, March period, April period, May, June, April period, like all those things. Okay. Workday terminology can be a little bit different what we normally speak outside of Workday. So we call them as months, as like January, Feb, March, April. In Workday, we call the same thing as periods. Okay. Fiscal schedule is nothing, it's just your financial year. That's all. So we'll go to the fiscal schedule. So we are looking for 2022. Let me pick the right one, otherwise we'll be in big, because it's a practice tenant, so a lot of people do practice here. So no worries. TFC. Now this one is about Workday updated. Let me see. Let me copy this one. I'll just show you also what it looks like. Let me go to this one first. Let me just put the same details here. Let me copy paste. Oh, why it's not showing up? Updated. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Then let me just put account set here. Ah, come on. CFA. I'll just show you each and everything. Let me just use the existing values here. CFA account control set. Standard corporate controls. Standard corporate controls. Standard account posting rules. Anything else you should like to know? Okay. Okay. Now let's see this fiscal schedule, how it looks like. So I'll click on this and I'll show you each and everything here, what it looks like, what it contains. Okay. So as you can see, fiscal schedule name here, fiscal years, just like we have financial years, fiscal is just nothing financial as we call it. So we'll just check the 2022 here. So basically you can see the year number here, year name, when it starts and when it ends. So Jan to December. In Asian countries, they follow like 1st of April till 30th, 1st of March. But typically in Western countries, the calendar starts from Jan to December. And if you look at on this link here, okay, so you can see the posting intervals here. So as we call them in months outside of Workday, here we call them as posting intervals or periods. So we have Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And this is the fiscal period, the start date and end date. Now, let me just how to close this tab, how to move this bar here. Yeah, looks good now. Now we'll talk about CFA here. Now, what is an account set? Okay, as the name suggests, if you break the word account set, account plus set, a set of ledger accounts and the details. So ledger accounts are what? Like your balance sheet accounts, your profit and loss accounts, income account, your expense accounts, your ledger accounts basically. Okay. So as you can see, there are 206 ledger accounts here. They are all part of the accounts that are called CFA. Identifier is nothing but the ledger account number. So 002, 003, 004 are basically a ledger account number. Then the account name. It can be like your fixed asset, expenses, depreciation, salary, and XYZ. Okay. That's called account name. Ledger account type. As I said, like we have different categories of account type. Either you have income account, expense account, liability account, balance sheet accounts, and all the profit and loss accounts. All different types of ledger account. Suppose you want to add anything here. Like if you just say create account set. Okay, same thing will pop up, but will not make any changes. Will not create a new one because we already have a good one to use. So we'll click on these three dots, as we call it, or related action button here. Then we'll say account set, add it. We'll just add one more account here. So let's say click on this add it here. And this will give us an option to click on this plus button here. We'll put some random number here. Let's say 7521 like this. account set name, let's say the olive salary, something like this. Now this is an expense account. When you pay salaries, obviously this is an expense you're doing. So we'll select the account type here and we'll select expense and we'll say done. So that does account 7521 has been added to the account set now. We'll use this just after this, like going through all the options of the added company accounting details. We'll add some contact details of the company and then the spend category that we have used, that we have created in the system. We'll go to the account posting rule set also. So let me just close it because we have just added one less account for a demo purpose. I'll close it. Then the other thing, account control rule set. What does it mean? So as the name suggests, account control, controlling the account and rule plus set of rules for that. So if you see the screen here, that's the name of this account control rule set. This account control rule set use the account set called CFA, under which we just added one new ledger account just like 30 seconds before. The currency of this account control rule set, again, you can create multiple account control rule set. There's no restriction or limitation by Workday on that. But there would be a currency of this account control rule set. And again, if you want to create it, it's very easy. Same page will open up if you just type this task. Create account control rule set. Same screen will open up, but we'll not go to that. We'll just say, okay, we account control rule set. Then CFA, the account set we just created before this task. Which companies are using this account control set? So remember, we went to our company, we said company, added company accounting details, and under that, we use this account control set. So from there, it gets the information that how many companies are using this account control rule set. And if you look at the olive, it would show the name here also. Let me show you that. The olive, where is that? Maybe the effect, yeah, see the olive button, because we did use this one in our our configurations. So that's why it's showing up the company name that yes, this company is using this account control set. Now that's the header of the page. What about the lines here, bottom of the page? What it does. So as you can see, we have a general threshold here, which is 25,000 USD. But at the line level, we have different thresholds for different things. For example, this cash, and I'm mentioned 1500 here. So what I'm telling the system here is, Jason, that if anyone creates a manual journal, okay, like they go to a task called create journal, and they manually create a journal, and if they use this ledger account called 1000 cash here, okay, or basically a cash ledger account, if they use, then, and if the amount in the journal is 1500, more than 1500, it has to be like 1501, 1502 or 3, then it will go for approval. Okay, it has to go to for approval for someone to review that yes, for this ledger account, the amount is correct and this can be approved. We'll see some example if time permits, like I'll just show you how it will stop the users from entering more than that without approval. Like it will definitely ask them for an approval if you put 1501 there. If time permits, I'll show you that. Now this is for manual journals. Remember this, the name here, account control rule set. If you break the word, it's just basically a control mechanism for your manual journals. That's all. Now this is about your manual journals, but accounting happens two ways in Workday. That the other way is your operational transactions. Now, what are your operational transactions? So operational transactions like your customer invoices, your supplier invoices, your receipts, your ad hoc payments, your advances and expenses, and all those things. Those are your operational transactions. For operational transactions, we have different mechanism to tell the system that what ledger account they have to use, and that is called account posting rule set. So we'll just click on this, see new tab. Now this is the header, and as you can see, same option we have here also, used by how many companies. So as you can see, 68 companies are currently using this account posting rule set. So on the account control and account posting rule set, there are two different things. Account control rule set is used for your manual accounting journals. But anytime you create a customer invoice, supplier invoice, that will create an accounting for it. And based on the ledger account configurations here, the system will decide what would be debited, what would be credited. Let me give an example here. This time we'll add our what you call the spend category also that we created. So this let's talk about the left hand side options we have. So all these options, you know, come on, all these things here are your different operational transaction category. So like accumulated depreciation, business asset accrued liability, business asset donation, disposal gain, disposal loss, all the like cash, deferred revenue. All these are your different operational transaction categories. Under these categories, we have defined the rules at the line level and at the header level also. So we'll talk about that also. So I'll go to the spend operational transaction category. I'll click on this edit posting rule, and then we'll talk about this in a minute also. What does it mean? Why we have default ledger account and everything here. Now, let me first explain you how the system captures that what account would be debited, what account would be credited, and why we have this ledger accounts here, what it does. So first, the system will start from the top, from this line level, rule condition section. It will say, okay, first let me check the dimension in the background. The company that you used in your transaction is Tesla Flying Cars, fair enough. First condition met. Then the system will check, okay, the spend category which is getting linked or which is getting used in this transaction, okay, that is entertainment. Then if it meets both condition, remember it has to match both condition here, that the company on the transaction was Tesla Flying Cars and the spend category was entertainment, then it will hit to this ledger account called 6855, which is an expense account. Remember, so 6855 would be the resulting ledger account that would be used if the both conditions are met. If the company that we are creating an invoice for, supplier invoice for, is Tesla Flying Cars and spend category is entertainment, then it would hit to this ledger account 6855. Okay, clear on this? So far? Okay, great. Now what happens? Suppose there are like 53 lines here, 53 different conditions here. The system went one by one by one, one by one by one. It searched everything. Okay, the company combination, the spend category combination may be a different combination, but it could not meet the criteria, or it could not find something to post to. Then what the system will do? It will come to the header. Okay, it has checked all the 53 conditions here, but it did not find anything which is met. Then what the system will do? System will come here and will look for default ledger account of this specific category here. Remember the category name is spend. So the system will come to the header here in the background and will see, okay, let me find out the default ledger account as I could not find a specific ledger account. So I'll hit the transaction or I'll pose the transaction to 6855. Clear? If it doesn't find any here, if it doesn't find any matching criteria here, why it's showing up? Yeah, if it doesn't find any matching criteria or anything here, then it will hit to the default ledger account. Now suppose that even there is a no default ledger account. Okay, it could not find anything in the dimension and values. It could not find a default ledger account. What will happen? The system will throw the operational transaction into an error mode. Okay, And it will tell you also that the why there's an error with that operational transaction accounting. Maybe the ledger accounts could not be found, or some other issues XYZ, but it will show you. Okay, so for that, I'll show you a report. Suppose now it's very easy. First, for that specific category here, spend. Okay, and then there's a description also by Workday for each category here. This spend posting rules identifies the account used to record the purchase of an item, typically an asset account or expense account. So that's how the system calculates. Okay, that I need to go for this. If you're talking about the spend or if a purchase, then I should go to this category here. Okay. Now let me hit OK here. So once we do that, let's hit close. Now, other important option that we have to think of is journal reversal options. Then we have two options here. This is like typical, very typical normal configuration for a company. These are at least basic thing you need to do in order to start transaction. So journal reversal options. Now, what does it mean? Suppose there was an accounting journal or your operational transaction. Your operational transaction got reversed or got cancelled. Then the system has to revert the accounting also. Let me explain you with some Excel here. Let me see if I have the Excel here. Downloads. Okay. Now let's say you did create one supplier invoice. And for that, the system created this entry. It has, let me show you, debit, credit. Okay, so it has debited the ledger account. Now let me add here. Call ledger account. So for debit, it has debited a ledger account called 2255. Okay, and it has credited 8591. The amount was like 100. Okay, it is when the system create or somebody else created a supplier invoice or purchase order or for payment. This was the entry. Now suppose you have canceled the supplier invoice or customer invoice. Now what will happen is system has to revert this accounting because the system cannot keep this transaction in the books because the original transaction of the supplier invoice customer invoice has been cancelled out. So there's no impact on the books. That has to be reversed out. So if I select the first option here, reverse debit and credit. So what the system will do? As the name says, reverse. Let me just write down. Reverse debit and credit. Suppose if you select the first option, what will happen is, so reverse debit. So debit was debited here and credit account was this. So what our system will do? Now, once you cancel the supply invoice, right? So the system has to revert. So this time 8591 would be debited and 2255 would be credited. Now, what happens if you select the second option? Keep debit, credit, and reverse the sign. Keep debit and credit means, let me just write it down. Keep debit and credit and reverse sign. What does it mean? It simply means that now, as the line says, keep debit and credit as it is, right? Do not change them, but reverse the sign. So for debit, there is no sign, but for credit, normally you have it that in brackets. For example, this one. The credit will be shown up as in the brackets or with the negative sign. Now, what will happen is this 2255 will come under brackets. And this 8591, which was in bracket earlier, that bracket will not be there anymore. Clear with these options? Reverse debit and credit means whatever was credited earlier, now it will be debited. And keep debit and credit and reverse sign means you will still have that at the same place, but you will be reversing the sign. Normally, what we have seen so far is that companies prefer the first option, reverse debit and credit. So if the $100 was put against like 8251, okay, and 2252, they will just reverse out. The amounts will change from debit to credit and credit to debit. Now, right, okay here. Now for the Olive Garden, we'll just put some contact details. We'll add some like phone number, some address here. So because every company has some office address and a phone number and an email address, the same thing will do, and that will use in a transactions. So for that, click on this three dots here, as we call it, three dots or related action. Company, and we'll go to this added company contact information. If you have a phone number, click on phone number here, USA. Okay, this will pick up the phone number format automatically. What is this phone device? Like it's like a mobile or a landline or anything else. So I'll just say like mobile here. If this is a primary phone number, right? So every company has a primary phone number where you can reach out, like a toll-free number or a paid number where you can reach out for your queries and everything. So similarly, if this is that the phone number, then yes, mark this as your primary phone number and say it will be used in your billing remit to and shipping query. In billing means suppose whenever you're creating the billing, we're talking about customer voices here. That time also you can reach out to this number for any query you may have. Okay, remit to means like if something has been remitted or payment has been transferred to this company and you have a query about that, then you can reach out to this number. Shipping is like if this phone number can be used for shipping query. That's all. Now, similarly, we'll add the address here. I will say USA, let's say 10th Cross, 15 Square, city, let's say New York, state, let's say New York, postal code, let's say for this should work. And if it's a primary address, yes. And this would be for billing, revenue, shipping, mailing, other business, street address, text reporting. Now we got an error in the postal code. Update to read only attribute is not allowed. Read only. Who is that read only? Not sure what it's talking about. Then let's add an email address here. So what is the official, whatever the official email address is, we can use that and we use for billing, revenue to shipping and procurement related queries also. This email address can be reached out to. And I should say, okay now. So it's done. We have added the contact details. Now we'll add the tax ID of this company. Again, we'll click on these three dots, company, and added company tax details. So you can see we have different tabs here. One says general setup, VAT on payment, tax IDs, tax status is third party tax option. For our demo purpose, like it's like a big, very big area, vast area. But we'll not go into that right now. For tax IDs, we'll just go to tax IDs. We'll click on the plus sign here. And country for which you want to add the tax ID, I'll say USA here. Tax ID type can be like employer ID number, legal form of the company number, whatever it is. Let's say this. And if you want to make this as a primary tax ID of the company, You can do so by clicking on this checkbox here. The system will mark this ID as the primary text ID for all the transactions. We'll hit OK now. We're getting close to start transactions. First of all, we'll go back to our company OG01. And as you can see, our company is almost ready. Now let me think, is there anything else I can figure it out? Like what should we do? Company and company contact information, accounting details, added company tax details also. Let's talk about the ownership details here. So basically in this section, we'll say, okay, who owns this company? It's like a very big firm or sister firm who owns this company. If yes, let's say GMS USA owns this company. Some company acquires other small companies or competitors. So this would be the owner of the company. Ownership, like how much GMS USA owns this company called Olive Garden. So we'll say 100 here. And how much income they will get from this company, like 50%, 30%, 40%, 50, 60%, whatever it is. For demo purpose, I'll say 100 here. And I'll hit OK. And we'll say done. So great. So the company, come on, why you just show up? Okay, I think others are fine. Let's talk about like company ID definitions. So basically, what we define here is like the ID definition. So the suppose there's supplier invoice number, customer invoice number, which starts from like supplier invoice hash 001, 002. So we can design those numbers within the system. That okay, it would be anytime we create a supplier invoice in the system, that would have a number called supplier invoice number as SG001, SG02, SG03, like that we can do. So you will see, I'll just get this for supply invoice and requisitions and purchase order. For rest, no need to create because we are just talking about the procurement side here. So we'll just click on this create ID definition, sequence generator here. Now in this line, we'll just say Olive supplier invoice, increment sequence by 0 or 1. So suppose the first invoice is called as supply invoice number 001. Then the next should be supply invoice. If you add 1 to it, the second invoice will become OG002, OG004, like this. So I'm saying increment sequence ID by 1. Padding or gap between the numbers. So I'll just say 4 here. Then the sequence ID format. Now this is again like very high level things I'm talking about right now, which doesn't make sense right now. But once you go through the document, you will realize that, yeah, these are like important configurations. We should do them. And they are very easy to do also. So I'll just say sequence ID format would be Olive supplier invoice. Then we'll just say this with this sign here. Just about your enter keypad on your laptop or desktop. This would be the file you should use or the font here. So we'll say 0002 or 0 and close brackets now. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Mm. Oh. Wait. Go to this. ID definition should be fine. Nothing here. How come? Strange. Let's go back to our tab. Let's see what system is saying. So it says enter formats into the content value token value tokens are case sensitive need to be between the square brackets. SEQ. I gotcha what it's saying. Include the sequence in the formats in the CyberBrainer you want to. It's the one. Why it's not? Wait. Come on. The sequence error pattern sequence is equal to next sequence number. No, what's wrong? What's happening here? Wait, yeah, buddy, wait. Let me open this. Oh, it has to be a CQ. Okay, okay. So it has to be this one. Finally, yes. So it would be, this will come like this. Olive supply invoice colon 001 because I use the padding 4 here and 3 zeros here, so I can make it like 2 also. You will see the difference now. So it will be olive supply invoice 001. So we'll just copy this and we'll use this in different places. So this is done. Now let's go back. So supply invoice is done. Now let's say for requisitions, we'll create the same ID definitions of the sequence generator. So it will be olive requisitions. Include one, pairing 2. We'll say this time it was for requisition line. So 2 are done. Supply invoice is done. Requisition is done. Let's do purchase orders. Advance ship notice we can come later on. Purchase orders at least we should do today itself. Purchase orders. Spelling is incorrect. So this time we would say this is a purchase order. PO. I was making it up. It can be anything. It depends company to company what they want to see on the documents. So this. Now let's create the last one, which should be requisitions, right? Requisitions is done. Purchase order. Advance ship note is not required. Expense report. Expense report we can create. Yes. Let's see. Olive expense report. Thank you. Expense report, right? So it would be so this is also done. So once you're done with this configuration, then we have to open the periods also. For that, there are a few tasks. You will find out this task in the PDF document. So now we'll say create fiscal initial fiscal year, fiscal schedule. Let me think. Will that work for this company? Yes. Create ledger. So first we'll create ledger here. And this would be company called OG01. Actual ledger type. So what ledger type means? The type of ledger which will hold the transaction. So actual means all the actual transactions. This place will hold all the actual transactions. So we would put actuals here. And we'll not use this commitment and obligation here. We'll just get rid of that. And enable obligation ledger. Again, that's like a very vast and different like budgeting tool. So we'll not get into that. Now the next task is create ledger year and periods. So the company would be OG01. Fiscal year. Remember, this fiscal year will come from the fiscal schedule that we had selected. So this one. So this will create the ledger year and the ledger periods. So create this is done, create ledger year and periods. Now we'll go to the task called mass update ledger period status. So basically we'll just open the periods. Right now the periods are in close, not open for any transaction. Using this task called mass update ledger period status, we'll open the periods for the transaction. So we can start hitting supplier invoices, purchase orders, requisitions, receipts, expense reports, and all those things. So right now we'll select 2022 here. So that would be the other. Let me just type 2022 here. And that would be which one? There are many standard corporate schedule here. Let's see. Yeah, this one. And the company is OG01. Yep. And for demo purpose, because we would be using a lot of months in purchase orders and transactions. So that's why we are opening all periods here. Periods again are nothing but your months. We call them as months. Workday calls them as periods. That's all. So we'll select this all period option here, then sort by period, then all book codes. And right now you can see they are in the created status, not in the open status right now. So I want all of them to be open. So I'll select all of them. New status would be open. So they can be open for the transaction that we are going to create from open here. So you can see the moment I've selected open, it has put the open status against all of the periods here. Then I'll just hit OK here. So I can use any month to do any transaction. So this is done. Create ledger period. This is also done. Ledger period. This is also done. Ledger is also done. Anything else is pending for this company? I don't think so. Okay. So this is pretty much like we are all set now. We'll use this Olive Garden for our transactions. We'll use this for supplier invoices, purchase orders, and many more things. Okay.